Hello, beautiful beings. So, the theme for me and working with people has really been this split. It's kind of funny because a lot of spiritual teachers and guides are talking about the world splitting and there being a planetary split. And I was contemplating what that meant to me. And I've always been like hopping timelines and realities, and so I'm like, what? There's really only going to be two planets that split? And so the theme, that theme has been really, um, I've been experiencing it through a split of what's wrong with you versus what's right with you, like with me and with others. And this split of awareness literally leads to two completely different trajectories of life. And it literally feels like different planets in my experience and with people, where the awareness can focus on looking toward fixing, healing, working, efforting to make better, getting more because there's something wrong, getting things outside that will make something right. And it's like endless, endless. It goes into infinity and like multiple ways of experiencing that focus and awareness of like what's wrong with me, what's wrong with others, what's wrong with the world. It, I was going to say, it rapes everything. And when we begin asking the question of what's right with me, it goes into working with what is working. That's been the mantra for me for the past few weeks. Work with what is working. What is working? And it's completely different. And it begins with an inquiry, a question of curiosity. Rather than what is wrong with me, it goes into what is right with me. This is a huge shift of awareness and shift of self-perception, how we see ourselves, a shift of how we see ourselves on the planet, and it trickles into others. What is right with others? What is right with the planet? And there's a whole other buffet of experiences. And this buffet of experiences isn't about outside getting to within. It's about that compass of what is right from within rippling out. So, in the quantum field of infinite possibility, from microcosm to macrocosm, macrocosm, microcosm, all possibilities, it starts really narrowing down to how we have that initial point of focus and curiosity. And that amps up like a snowball, and it's faster and faster and faster these days. These awakening experiences that we have, when we have them, everything speeds up. It's like manifesting realities in a split hair of a moment. And so if we highlight the seed of this split, of how we choose to get curious about ourselves in life, into, okay, what happens when when I'm on that trajectory of what's wrong with me? What's wrong with the world? What's wrong with that person? It's infinite evidence that shows you the loving infinite universe doesn't care. It just wants to honor our free will so that we can live in a free will universe, so we can live in a universe free of judgment and control. It will honor your curiosity. What's wrong with you? I'll show you that. And as we shift into like, oh my God, what's wrong with me is limitless. I have this disorder, I have that, these physical ailments, this money issues, this social things. Oh, the world, it's just infinite. The good news is that if we simply ask the question to our brain, what is right with me? The same power exists in that question, the same speed of manifestation. And it becomes our home base lens for navigation. And it's not about what is the circumstance, what do I have? Like, let me look for physical evidence. It's not about that. It's about the vessel of our awareness, the vessel of the question becomes what holds our experience. And so we can be in the same place, we can be in the same house, we can be in the same environment, we can be around the same people, but our experience shifts into valuing different things about our experience. And when we begin valuing different things, valuing meaning we're investing our attention and our intention of living with them, the AI, attention, intention, I love repeating that, is it creates, we tap into our creatorship from within, being that light that shines upon what is right in the world, what is right in ourselves. And it's a difference between being someone who's going crazy and going into a janana, as you say in Hebrew and Arabic. Janana means like, oh, crazy, versus like a leader. A leader not because we're telling people what to do, a leader because we begin embodying the light of rightness in ourselves and in the world. We tap into a space of wholeness and overflow of that wholeness and that sharing is leadership. It doesn't matter how much we're sharing or how many people validate and acknowledge us. We can be alone in a home and it's like, whoa, everything is right with me. I see how everything is right in the world, and that magnetizes a ripple following your energy. It's a shift, a somatic shift. Now I want to talk about, play with that for a moment, actually. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Close your eyes and feel how that question, when you ask your brain that question, what that feels like. No need to get into a deep meditative space. Just play with the question. What's wrong with me? See what evidence that brings up. What's wrong with me? Now take a breath. Release it with a ah sigh. Notice what sensations you felt, how your nervous system felt. Did you feel contrasted, expanded? What you noticed, what you saw, what images? And now close your eyes again and play with the question. Just for the sake of play, we're just playing here. What is right with me? 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 Scan how you see yourself. Scan how you see the world when you ask yourself, and play, what is right with me? How you see others when you ask yourself, what is right with me? What is right with me? What is right with me? Let it echo, that question. Now open your eyes and wiggle it off. Breathe in and release a sigh. What were the subtle differences that you noticed? What images? What sensations? How did you see yourself? What did you notice that you didn't see before with the first question. So the beauty of questions and curiosity, I always say we can navigate all of life only through questions. We never need answers. This curiosity and questioning of our innocence that doesn't know anything. That's our home base. That's our soul of well-being, being on this adventure of life of infinite possibility. And if we attempt to navigate life through the mind and knowing everything, it either collapses at some point and dies until we build up knowing something again and we make things matter. We matter, into actual material, physical experience. What if we can live in the state of curiosity and questions? And what if that vulnerable space of innocence can be a healthier way of living? Allowing truth to just flow through as a frequency, like a waterfall of life through us, without needing to grasp or attach, control, micromanage, or know anything with our mind. Our poor mind, it's like a child. We've put so much responsibility on the mind navigating life, and the mind collapses and it's like, I'm going crazy. I can't navigate infinite possibility for you. Sorry. And that's when the heart starts cracking open. And navigating this life through heart, brain consciousness, it isn't through logic. It's through sensation. Reality becomes malleable like water. Everything is interconnected. It all exists, and it's all true and all false. It's illogical, and we don't need to hold it all, and we don't need to know anything, ever, because truth is a frequency that is ever changing, taking different shapes and forms. And so when we tune into that innocence and curiosity and question, it allows us to be what we're here to be, which is innocence in experience. Innocence that is free in our unique way. And when we choose to value questions, to focus on questions, we don't even need to hold what the question brings. We can just play with the question. What is right with me? What is working? Can I work with what is working? We can add questions and layers, and the question can become our compass. The questions can become an art of perspective. And there's so much knowing that is embodied when we know the value of questions. The answers become a physical, evident experience. There is the energy of knowing, not in the mind, but in our actual experience, with a calm nervous system. How do you know you're in the frequency of truth? You feel calm, relief. You feel you have infinite time. That is truth. Those are what makes life life and makes life worth living. So if you feel like you're going crazy, you always have this split, this choice point of what question are you going to ask. This planetary split, if you've heard of it, I've heard a lot about it for years, and I'm like, oh, who will go where? This split is available in every moment. And many of us were born into a game of life, into a system where it's all focused on what's wrong with you. All the industries that make a lot of money are based on what's wrong with you. The consumption, the endless working, money, having, getting, which leaves you empty because it all comes from something is wrong with you and needing something outside yourself. And when you ask and be curious about what is right with you, you'll notice your vessel beginning to fill with life force. And you will need less because you already have the core thing that you need, which is feeling that you're right to be you. You have a right to be you. You have a right to be unique. You are designed to be you. Nothing would be able to be if you weren't you. There would be no experience to have. Source in its wholeness, where we are all one and there is no unique expression and individual experience, we all dissolve and die into one. We're here in this physical experience as unique, infinite specks of creation. Can you believe that? You are an extension of infinite source energy that loves you so much, because source gets to experience the expression of love that you are through you, that it will honor anything you wish to experience, even if you are asking what is wrong with you. Because there is no right and wrong. There is no pressure of time and infinity. Time is an experience. We get to play with time to honor this experience. But to have time as some slave manager, do you want that? So this video is an invitation for you to play and explore just for play. When we say, I'm just playing with this question, the mind calms down, because the mind wants to keep us safe. And the mind works very well with us. It plays very well with us when we give it a job, which is asking it a question. It's just like with ChatGPT, you ask it a question based on how you ask it a question. It's a mirror. And so we actually have this inside ourselves with our mind. How are you going to relate to your own mind? What question are you going to feed it? And this simple, simple question of what's right with you. If you're a parent with your children, explore that with your kids. It's the greatest gift you can ever give a child, is seeing the child through what is right with them, rather than controlling them into fitting into a system that is all focused on what's wrong with innocence in free flow expression. Notice what happens with your child when you're like, what if it's right with them what they're doing? You might be surprised to notice that they start becoming your caretaker, returning you back to your innocence. And parenting might become a little bit easier for you when you allow yourself to be led by the innocence of your child. And it feels sad to me when I witness, and this isn't to blame or judge, because I'm not a parent. I chose a different path, at least for now. I know that it's hard. I've been around children. I've been in schools and preschools and been around many parent-child dynamics, and I come from a very big family, and I remember being a child very well. And there's something that happens while I'm with kids. I notice a lot of parents just focusing on what's wrong with their child because they're afraid their child won't survive in a system that is collapsing anyway. Consciousness in the collective is evolving beyond the system that we were born into. It's time to just accept that. Nothing that is not in resonance with the frequency of truth lasts for infinity. What lasts for infinity is the truths that birth eternal life. Through the deaths, eternal life, through the eternal interconnectivity of us all. And so I do feel that we're all going through this huge shedding and purge. And just play with that with your kid. You know, they could be throwing a tantrum and rebelling because they're reflecting what you can no longer control. And when they see that you see them and what is right with them, you may notice a miraculous illogical shift, that they meet you at 0 point liberation and unknown to play. They know we're here to play. They're less programmed than you are as a parent. So that control and maintenance of making a child other than they are is going to create a problem child. It's going to create a rebellious child. It's going to create an aggressive child. I've been playing with kids a lot lately, and it's especially happens with 9-year-old boys because they're like exploring certain energies, and a lot of the time parents project on them that they're either dark or problematic or like rebellious. And I've noticed that the more I'm like, what's right with them? Like if they're kicking and screaming, it's like, oh, that's what needs to happen in the field now. How can I yes and their authentic expression? I'm going to find something for them to kick. I'm going to kick with them so that energy and motion won't be all on their shoulders. I'll break things with them. Let's find things to break. I'll scream with them. Let's find a spot we can do that. I'm going to play the bad game with them of the unprocessed shadow. And when that happens, when they feel met, there's nothing you need to hold on your shoulders. And all that's left is for you to be present enough to actually play with your child and live life. And so I guess these parent-child dynamic, which I do feel a very strong calling to begin talking more about parent-child dynamics, because we're all in that dynamic with our own inner child and inner parent, other people's children. They are the future. They are the reality. And so we have this opportunity with our own inner innocence, our own inner child. I don't agree. It doesn't resonate with me to feel that something's wrong with our inner child. So much of these healing modalities focus on the wounded child. I felt fully awake and aware of everything when I was a child. My inner child is my guide. Yes, I have an internal father, mother figure that is now birthing in my vessel to hold that inner child, but it's a fine art not to allow that distorted adult to repress our own innocence, because our innocence is our greatest power and pure connection to source, which is unconditional love, limitless possibility, and instantaneous miracles that are illogical. Illogical. It doesn't make sense to the mind. Is that okay? We don't mind. All we need to do is play with the question. Questions that feel relieving, soothing, and let's start with, what is right with you? What is right with you? What is working? Ah. Yay. Thank you if you've watched this video till now. Really? Oh my God. Out of all experiences in the universe, you've been sitting with me for 23 minutes and 37 seconds. Oh, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you feel is right with you. If you feel like sharing that and yes, ending that energy in the comments. If you want to express and be witnesses in what you've been thinking is wrong with you, that would be great too. Bring it to the light. Let it shine. Own that shit. If you want to share epiphany that this woke up in you, something that you know, I'm not here teaching anything. It's just remembering together. And so thank you for investing and valuing this space with your attention and intention. It's the most valuable currency in existence. So thank you. And if you'd like to connect, the number one way to do so, to discover ways that I can play with you in this life experience, is to schedule a curiosity call. They're free and they inspire me. Like I had a curiosity call a few days ago and it inspired me to do a last second class yesterday, where it really inspired this video, because the topic of the class that we played with is, what if everything's right with you? And it was so fun, so potent, such a gift for me to be able to show up in that way. I notice more and more that my creative flow is more about responding to requests. So I'm going to keep those curiosity calls alive because there are many different ligaments that I play with in my offerings, and it's still settling into an actual homepage, and I choose to see what's right in that. It seems that it's a delicate process for me to birth a platform that's really authentic to my soul and unique and different. So rather than thinking about, oh, what's wrong with you? You're a mess online. I've been just focusing on what's right with you. It's unique. It's different. It's authentic. You're connecting with people that may not connect with you if you weren't the way you are. So that's been a really big practice for me because that's one of the main things my mind was focusing on. I was like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you have a platform and a mailing list and a homepage? And so thank you for meeting me here in this frequency. And yeah, if you liked it, then like the video. If you want to hear more, subscribe. And if you feel this might make somebody's day better, share it. That's a form of leadership too. I love sharing things that are resonant with my soul and I can't yet express in words to people. And when I'm not creating, I'm sharing other people's content. And so that's a form of rippling resonance. And yeah, so sending you so much love. What's right with you? What's right with you? What's working? So simple. Blessings, love.